rebirth is a name that I came up with probably about 2011, literally. And I didn't even understand the meaning of it myself. I just knew the word rebirth. It was initially named Rebirth Dimension, Worldwide Dimension, or something like that. It's been changed though. Um, I knew that I wanted to reach out to people globally, or women globally specifically, because of, of what I've been through myself. So years later, I changed it to Rebirth Holistic Healing, but I also have the logo of the Phoenix. Coming to find out, the Phoenix is about rebirth. And that's exactly what my name, symbolized. So it's about starting over. It's about facing what you need to face and healing from it so you can obtain the dreams that you want to obtain. But it requires to do the work. It requires looking at yourself, understanding who you truly are. It requires crying, having those emotions, facing those people that you need to face if you can. If not, write it down. Whatever techniques that you need to get it out of you. The key is to release it. Let it go. But at the same time, while you're releasing it, it requires a lot of love for yourself. It requires a lot of love and forgiveness for yourself, as well as whatever happened in the past, because you can't change the past. You can fix now and learn from the past. But at the same time, that's tricky, because while you're learning from the past, are you still placing blame? That's the really, that's the key to healing in itself. You have to be able to let go. You have to be able to let go of the things that you may not ever be able to understand or get the answers for. But can you own up to your part? Meaning, sometimes you may not have done something, but owning to your part could also mean I'm owning up to my emotions that I gave over to that situation. Meaning I gave my power over to it, and it had power over me all these years. However many years it has held you in this angry place, or this hurtful place, or it's caused you to become a person on the street on drugs or homeless. Who knows what the situation may be, but we have to be willing to look at it. And that's where the rebirth starts. You cannot put new wine in old wineskins. It's not going to work. It's going to spill out. And so this is where people ask the same question. Why do I keep going through this same thing over and over again? The one question is, what are you holding on to that you need to let go of? So this is where I take my own healing process, and I've transitioned it into what I use for my counseling clients, my coaching and counseling clients. I always cause them to look within. That's the first thing we're going to do before we go any further. I need you to lay it out on the table. Tell me your truth. I don't care how embarrassing it is, because first of all, I've gone through it already. Nothing can possibly embarrass me. I'm not embarrassed by you. I'm not judging you. I'm here to help you face you, whoever you want to be and whoever you are. And we have to unpack the layers little by little. And I've also counseled men as well. And that was a deep situation as well. But the technique works, and I don't use the same process for every person. I listen to each person, and I go by what I'm feeling inside. Which gear should I press this time for this person, where they're at? Are they ready for this? Or which avenue are they ready for? Which door should I open? So I'm kind of careful as to where they are. And that seems to help, because I end up following all the processes. They just may be in different orders.
All right. If you were to put maybe some of the challenges that people really are facing that are coming to you for help, if you were to sort of say in two or three, which are the major challenges that people really are facing that you know of, that are coming to you?
Low self-esteem, childhood trauma. Those are two major ones. They don't know themselves. because they've lived their lives in shadows of everyone else. Those are three major ones. And those three roll out into everything else.
You see, when you were talking before, talking about yourself, you did make mention of the fact that at some point, we sort of leave, okay, we now you are referring to maybe women, or okay, sometimes most of us are like that. We sort of leave all the dictates of other people that tells you, do this, do that, and do that, and do that, which is actually the program. Because all of us are running programs or programs that are running in us, no? So that those programs are designed by people who have a perfect understanding of what they want. Sometimes other people just copy other program and make it run in people without necessarily understanding what is the idea behind it. And when this program crashes, because if it happens for those who perfectly understand what is going on, they know how to fix it.
Mhm.
But what of when it happens with those who do not understand what these programs mean? And then they are the one that are being looked upon for solution. What then happens there? So because we are talking of people who you want to sort of correct their errors so they can get the best out of their life, what sort of strategy do you use to help them to come out of the dilemma that they are so that they can live better life? Because I believe at the end of the day, you want people to live the life that they can be proud of instead of believing that this is the end of it, but it is really not the end of it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How do you do it?
I'll go with one of my students who was she's in the Navy right now. And when I first had her, when I first started with her, she was in the Navy then. So she is working on being an officer now. So she was dealing with a lot of unknown to her childhood trauma and how she was raised, and basically what you just mentioned about a father was military. I think her mom wasn't military, but she was raised in that type of a mentality. It's a program. And of course, being in the military, you're programmed to think a certain way. Sometimes, unfortunately, a lot of military personnel, my being military self, I did it a little bit, not as much because I was a little rebellious, but um, everything is organized a certain way. So you raise your children in that same pattern. The thing about it is, us as children, even though those are our parents, there are bells and whistles going off in us, telling us that's not right. That doesn't make any sense, but we're not allowed to say anything. So they're holding it in.